guys. There's a reason I've been balls deep in crash retrievals. So check all these things I've posted. Vet that against the things he's saying. And what I mean is this: a lot of the information's already out there. You can start going through them. You can, matter of fact, find that Mexico crash in the materials that I've posted. Same thing with other. Here's another example. If you take the Denmark crash, was it 19? Shit, I'm going to get the date wrong, 57, whatever. Anyway, we have CIA paperwork that gives the CIC number of said UFO crash. It has some metamaterial. That metamaterial is a honeycomb looking material. Well, that same material is found by Bob White, which you can find the analysis in the paperwork. Bob White witnessed the crash. That material was taken to the Stars Academy for an Army contract, where it was later, I'm just postulating here, taken by Hal Puthoff and his son to do some kind of reverse engineering for tanks, possibly stealths and things like that, whatever. So a lot of this information you can self-vet. You can go look stuff up and be like, well, shit. Here's another question that no one else would ask David that I would. Well, since you're good with paperwork, have you seen any CIC numbers? And specifically these two. And I'd give him the CIC. Wouldn't even know that, right? But I do, just because this is the only shit I ever do, right? I need to get a fucking life. Go ahead, Michael. Astro, what's up? Hold on, let me get Astro talking real quick. See if he's a robot still.
Yo, can you hear me?
No, man.
Damn it. All
Shit,
right, let
I
me jump
think
back
it's
out. I'll jump back
0 to
in.
I know
1
I can hear you.
Astros.
Oh shit, he actually
Okay.
left.
Between Jesse Marcel Sr. and Jr. recorded.
Yep. Oh yeah,
Okay.
that reminds me.
Two crash sites.
Yes.
Two crash sites. Okay. In all the whoopla, we forgot about Kingman, Arizona. I'll let you go from there.
Kingman's another big one. Good move, Michael. So here, let me ask you this: Corso. Who's read his book, The Day After Roswell? You should, but you should actually read the original manuscript. Corso held a job. Do you know what his job was? His job was literally everything to do with this. I'm actually pretty sure I know who held his job out later on, and I'm trying to reach out to them to talk. So that job continues. Doesn't matter what that job's named, but these individuals, just think to yourself, who's had to encounter the phenomenon in such a way that it's changed their life? So all these people that are trying to help with these different things, David, um, this SSO that I'm hoping I'm right on, and I'll tell you that Gray is I guess you'd say a fake name, obviously. These guys will be coming out shortly. God, I wish I knew if I could release that shit. But anyway, so these guys are simply doing this. SSO is attached. Eric Davis says this. He says there's an SSO attached to basically vet what the whistleblower says. Whistleblower says something, the SSO is going to say, hey, yeah, he's not lying. That's all you should need. So the journalist should go on to other questions. What kind of questions would you guys ask? And this is an example. If they answered me with, are the dimensions different from the inside to the outside? And how is that possible? If they answered that, or if they even answered, how do these entities maneuver the craft? Because they connect to it consciously, right? That's what I'm telling you. And so, if that's the case, what does that mean for this to be a deeper thing? If we can't do that, if it's a conscious thing. Now, I also posted on my Twitter. This is wild. Go check it out. It's called The One Human Problem, right? And it kind of goes along with it, right? So, what if it kind of postulates that we go in cycles as humans, and the Fermi's paradox for us is we get to a point where we got to go one with the universe, hive mind, or we're done. We destroy each other, this, that, or whatever, right? So it's on my thread somewhere, but I put that in there for a reason, because a lot of these things you can point to each other and you can postulate, but then when you start hearing other people talk about it, all these different things, hell, the civilization things, these breakaways, I've heard from my Red In guy, right? Who else have you heard that shit from? Breakaway civilizations. Maybe we were not the first. Doesn't mean all of them, but like David said, not all these things are love and light. Some are evil. How do you tell a difference? Abduction's real. What else is real that we've been told? I can tell you that the whole point of me working RDR, doing this stuff, is to figure this stuff out because crap. Oh, here comes. Come on up here, Deb. She can tell you what's real. So the point of this stuff is I dig. There's some of us that'll say things and ask questions. I have no problem asking a question that other people will not ask, and that being human mutilations. Is that a thing? Abduction. Go ahead, Deb.
Hey there. I just wanted to let you know that I tried to link the UFO connector page on crash retrievals because this is probably one of the things that fascinated me the most when I started researching. And I'm hoping that you're going to talk about moon dust. Yes?
Deb, can you talk to us about moon
You
dust?
tell me what you're saying because maybe I know it is something different, or maybe I don't know it at all. And this is how I learn.
Okay, well, first of all, those crash retrievals on there go back to, I think, the 1800s. So it's definitely pre 1930s. The second thing is in about the 1950s, the U.S. Air Force had a squadron start collecting things that fell from the sky. Um, Everything that they collected was put under the name moon dust. That was like the title line on the documents. Those documents are in the DIA FOIAs. Those can be found in what they call the UFO PDFs. Sean from Witness Citizen has found more that were not just international, because the ones in the CIA FOIAs tended to be international. The ones in the DIA FOIAs tended to be international, but he's found more that were local. And there was a person named Clifford Stone who came out and reported that he was a part of Moondust, which was a project to retrieve crashes and objects that fell from the sky. Now, to be clear, they were not all UFOs. They were also picking up anything, any technology that fell from the sky. And I have actually spoken to Kevin Randall. He wrote a book about moon dust. And he basically said, there's more to it than it, like that was just the tagline, so to speak. But if you look at those FOIAs, it shows you not only who is interested, who is getting CC'd on those crash retrievals, et cetera, et cetera. And it is, like I said, in the UFO PDFs on the DIA FOIA reading room.
Dang.
Yeah, the Deb's collection, Study of UAP's collection of information is great, and I highly recommend anybody take a look at it because she's organized all kinds of different subjects and links to some very good information.
Thank you. I mean, for me, it's different because I've known about moon dust since like day one. Like, I'm like, everyone, come on, we got to look at this. In fact, if you guys don't know, Leslie Kean sued NASA trying to get more FOIAs. The problem was that NASA's not the one who was doing moon dust, it was the US Air Force. So there was actually someone a couple of years ago who claimed to be part of moon dust, but he disappeared. He took down all of his social media. He took down his YouTube page. He just went and poofed. But he said he worked on moon dust, and there was a lot of cancer among the people who were part of the project.
Yeah, I wonder now if we're gonna get more of the effects, of like these stories that are gonna come out. Like Jay Stratton was on Skinwalker Ranch, and it was all about like experiencer type of stuff. I wonder if it's just like so ironic. Some of the stuff is so crazy how it just lines up some of the time with the timing of it. But I wonder now if we're gonna hear a lot more of these like people who have interacted with UFOs, UAPs, sightings with effects and stuff like that.
I think the dam broke, man. Today the dam broke. Most people were scared, worried about being the first one because assassinations, murders, suicided, that's a thing, man. There's a reason. Also, I think the Mexico thing he was talking about was it El Indio? I think that's the one he was talking about. I'm not positive, but so here's what he was trying to give us hints left and right. And again, go look at my questions that I had prepared for him. The reason I asked those is because I found other information elsewhere. So he was giving us, I guess, lots of the goods. And we just got to remember, I keep getting from people, most of the information's already out here. And that's the reason there's such a flood of this information. So you can go find all these different things and look it up. Now, what's important to me, AHI, which is why I do UAP Med, right? I also think that tech's not the only thing that we reverse engineered. Just postulate this with me. What if we knew what the craft and whatever radiation is, what it does to people, and we needed to figure out how to use that for war? It would explain some things, right? What if not all of the events that we thought of as being an abduction, um, an injury from a craft, or one of these things was that? What if it was? Now I don't know what they're named, but just take this with a grain of salt. Some version of My Labs, MK Ultra, all these different things. Now, was MK Ultra a separate program? Because were they using the craft to reverse engineer that entire tech? Now, one thing I would also ask David that no one asked, and I couldn't believe it because he's paperwork, was where are the NDAs? Now, if the government's going to have you sign an NDA, it's going to be specific on what happened and what you're not to talk about. And if that's a government form, why is no one looking for those just to validate? Oh shit, that did happen, right? We have whistleblowers that keep saying we signed NDAs, find those. We told him. Fitzpatrick doesn't even have the title authority to do so, right? He just doesn't give a shit. So if we have him tell us nothing's going on, and this guy, with the record that he has, I can promise you, his bona fides, he's legit.